So you've got his attention. The spark is there, the chemistry is strong, and things are going great. But then, that little voice in the back of your mind creeps in. How do I keep this going? What if the excitement fades? What if he loses interest? It's a frustrating thought, right? Because in the beginning, love feels effortless. The conversations flow, the dates feel exciting, and you don't have to overthink a single text. But then, as time goes on, something shifts. Maybe he doesn't text as much. Maybe he seems a little less eager. Maybe you start wondering if his feelings are still as strong as they were in the beginning, and that's when panic sets in. The truth is, attraction isn't just about getting someone's attention, it's about keeping it. And what keeps someone hooked isn't about playing games, being perfect, or constantly trying to impress them. It's about understanding the psychology behind emotional connection, desire, and long-term attraction. So today we're diving deep into the psychological triggers that keep love not just alive, but exciting, fulfilling, and lasting. Welcome back to Psych Bites. If you love deep dives into the psychology of love, attraction, and human behavior, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a breakdown like this. Now, let's get into it. Before we get started, how about some engagement? Well, here's a question I have been meaning to ask you. All right, let's get real. What's the sweetest or most unexpected thing someone has ever done that made you feel totally hooked on them? Was it a little thoughtful gesture, a way they made you feel understood, or maybe just their confidence that drew you in? Drop your stories in the comments. I'd love to hear what keeps you hooked in a relationship. So here we go. Attraction is easy in the beginning. That's because our brains are biologically wired to make the honeymoon phase feel intoxicating. Studies show that when we fall in love, our brain releases a cocktail of feel-good chemicals, dopamine, oxytocin, and norepinephrine, which create that obsessive, can't stop thinking about you kind of feeling. It's what makes the early stages of love feel so effortless. But here's the catch. Dopamine thrives on novelty, not routine. In the beginning, everything is new. New dates, new experiences, new discoveries about each other. But over time, as things become more familiar, dopamine levels drop, and this is where most relationships start to lose their excitement. Not because the love isn't real, but because the brain craves the unknown, the unpredictable, the thrill of discovery. So how do you keep the spark alive when routine inevitably sets in? By maintaining a sense of mystery and unpredictability. Now, this doesn't mean you have to play hard to get or create unnecessary drama. What it means is that people stay hooked when there's always something new to discover. Think about it. When was the last time you learned something new about your partner? When was the last time you surprised them, changed up your usual routine, or introduced something unexpected into the relationship? Psychologists call this the self-expansion theory. Studies show that couples who engage in new, challenging, or exciting experiences together report higher levels of attraction and long-term satisfaction. The reason? Because the brain associates excitement with the person we experience it with. So instead of falling into the trap of predictability, dinner at the same restaurant, movie nights on the same couch, conversations that start to sound the same, introduce novelty. Try a new activity together, travel somewhere new, take on a challenge as a team. When you create fresh experiences, you rewire the brain to associate your presence with excitement and adventure. But keeping him hooked isn't just about excitement, it's about emotional connection. There's a common misconception that attraction is all about looks, chemistry, or physical intimacy. But studies show that long-term attraction is built on emotional safety. And here's where things get interesting. Most people think emotional connection is built by constantly talking, sharing, and opening up. But in reality, it's built through something much deeper: emotional mirroring. This is where attachment theory comes into play. According to research by psychologist John Bowlby, people feel most deeply connected in relationships where they feel understood, seen, and emotionally mirrored. What does this mean? It means that he doesn't just want to be with someone he finds attractive. He wants to be with someone who makes him feel deeply understood. Think about it. When was the last time you felt truly heard? When someone didn't just listen to your words, but actually got you, your fears, your dreams, your emotions. That feeling of being deeply understood creates an almost addictive attachment to the person who provides it. So if you want to keep him hooked, make him feel deeply seen. Pay attention to the little things he says, the details he doesn't even realize he's sharing. Reflect back his emotions in conversations, showing that you get what he's feeling, not just what he's saying. Validate his experiences, showing that he's not just being heard, but deeply understood. This creates a level of intimacy that goes beyond attraction. It makes him feel safe. And safety? That's what makes someone stay. But here's where things get tricky, because while emotional safety keeps love deep, attraction also needs a little bit of tension. And this is where we talk about the power of absence. Psychologists call this the scarcity effect, the idea that we value what we believe we might lose. Studies show that when something feels too available, we instinctively devalue it. It's why people tend to take things for granted once they feel too certain about them. Now, this doesn't mean you should play games or manipulate someone into chasing you, but it does mean that your presence should feel valuable, not something that's just always available by default. Because nothing kills attraction faster than complacency. So what does this look like in a healthy way? It means maintaining your own life, your own goals, your own sense of self outside of the relationship. It means that while you're fully present in the relationship, you're not overly dependent on it for validation, happiness, or emotional fulfillment. Psychologists call this interdependence, the balance between connection and individuality. And research shows that couples who maintain their own sense of self while being deeply connected have the highest levels of long-term relationship satisfaction. Because here's the thing, he can't stay hooked on you if you lose yourself in him. The most attractive thing you can bring to a relationship isn't just love, loyalty, or emotional support. It's your own sense of independence, ambition, and self-worth. People don't stay hooked because of how much you give. They stay hooked because of the energy you bring. An energy that is rooted in confidence, curiosity, emotional depth, and an ability to keep things fresh and unpredictable. So if you want to keep him hooked, it's not about overgiving, overinvesting, or over-explaining. It's about understanding the psychology behind what keeps attraction alive. It's about creating a balance between emotional connection and healthy space, between security and excitement, between being deeply present and maintaining your own sense of identity. Because the real secret, you don't keep someone hooked. They stay hooked because they never stop discovering new reasons to be drawn to you. And speaking of attraction, if you've ever wondered why your brain picks certain people to crush on while ignoring others, you need to check out our video on how your brain picks your crush, the science of attraction. Because understanding why we feel drawn to someone in the first place, that changes everything. Click to watch now. And don't forget to subscribe to Psych Bites for more deep dives into the psychology of relationships, attraction, and human behavior. See you in the next one.